This parasha coincides with the beginning of the month of Elul. The month of Elul is a time for preparation for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, where our whole life is in balance. Rosh Hashanah tekatevu, our faith is written and judged on Rosh Hashanah. Ubeyom Kippurim yichatemu, but the final seal is put on Yom Kippur, and then it goes out for the rest of the year. Our whole year, coming year, and it could be our lives, depend on the judgment of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'kol she'arecha. Of course, the simple pshat in the pasuk and in the explanation of our Chachamim, it's a warning that we need to have judges and shotrim. A shofet is someone who judges, that gives out a judgment, but the shoter is the one who carries out, executes it, and makes it happen. If you don't have one of them, it's no good. If you don't have a judge to know what has to be done, what's allowed and not allowed, and to give the judgment. If you don't have a judge, then you're having policemen for nothing. You're carrying out nothing. On the other hand, if you have a judgment, but there's no one to execute it, is to bring it to fruition, to make sure it's carried out, then that's also missing. It's not being done. So therefore, Shofet judges if this is allowed and this is not allowed, or tells us what the judgment should be, what the din is, what the halacha is, and the shoter carries it out. Some of our Balei Musar very correctly draw attention that it's not only, Bekol She'arecha does not only mean that it's in the gates where they have the judgment, they have the law courts, but really Kol She'arecha, that we should put a shofet and a shoter in our she'arim, our gateways, our entrances, where we have our eyes and we have our ears and we have our mouths. These are she'arim. Yes, and don't think it's what they're taken. The eyes taken, and the eyes also want to see things. So you have to judge. There has to be a judgment. Am I allowed to see this? Am I allowed to see this at all? Am I allowed to take it in? And the ears also. Am I allowed to take in what I hear? We hear Lashon Hara, we hear things we hear things which really put us off. And there's the mouth. The mouth not only takes in food, but what it brings out, it's very important. And sometimes there's a lot of garbage which comes out. The mouth, it can learn Torah and be so kadosh. On the other hand, it causes damage. Lashon, Chaim ha'mavet ve'hamavet biyad halashon. Life and death can be with the word, with words we say, with what Lashon Hara we might say. We could kill people thousands of miles away. We could do all sorts of damage. And therefore, it's necessary, B'kol she'arecha, we should take the message personally, that we should put a shofet. Before we see things, am I allowed to go there? Am I allowed to see this thing? There should be a judgment, we're allowed to do that or not. And then you must have the strength of character to control it. I'm not seeing this. I'm not looking at it. And the same thing, when you hear things, sometimes you can't help it. You hear things, but the question, do I take it? I don't believe it, and I should push it away. And I should really not go to a situation where I hear such things. Keep away from that. So you must make a decision, and you must carry that out. A shofet and a shoter. And of course with your mouth. Not only what that goes into your mouth should be kasher, should be ma'adrin, but also what comes out of your mouth. You should judge whether it's allowed and it's not allowed, and have the strength of character continue. Shabbat shalom, bracha v'etzlacha.